ability to start this right now. There we go.
Oh, the stream is live, guys. Welcome back. Halftime show, locker room access. We got Fresh live in studio with us. We got Dave the Wave broadcasting from just it looks like some kind of concert piano hall back there. But
ode to my kid.
we are. Yeah, I know. Anyway, boy. A lot of questions. The biggest one on my mind is Day hurt? Where a lot of people on LRA chiming in that he is. I don't know, but that would not be good for us. Fresh, watching the first half, we kind of clawed back into it. Kind of felt like the Florida game. Dave, you mentioned that. I think Jaminski mentioned that.
Yep.
Fresh, what'd you see that caught your eye in the first half?
I loved the start. I thought we were crisp. I thought we were, Day was playing more off the ball. Rhodey was kind of bringing it up when he, Rhodey can do that unless he's pressured. When they're not picking up, it's fine. Rhodey goes, but they were kind of interchanging pretty well. I thought we ran some good stuff, and we got good results. But what I didn't like early is they just ate us alive inside the big guy. We didn't really find an answer for that. He must have had 6 or 8, in the first 10 minutes. Kind of got out of control. Then we.
Are you talking about the 35-year-old Turkish guy who's fought in 2 wars that claims to be a freshman? That guy, yes.
You absolutely stole what I was about to say right there. He's 100% been in at least 3 revolutionary wars that weren't even a revolution. It was just him staging it by himself.
Yes.
Yeah, but we didn't have an answer. He's big, but what does he do well? Turn and catch and go and score over you. But we got to figure out a way to stop that. Then they got a little bit hot from outside. I thought early, I don't know what you thought, Dave. I said, let's just live and die, taking our chances with them shooting threes, and they probably made 3 or 4. So.
Yeah, they made 3. Okendo made 2 of them. Okendo's their 50%. He's their Isaac McNeely. So I think you do to him what they do to McNeely, and you might live with the other guys.
Yeah, that's how I thought. I don't want to get ahead of it, but some things on the offense early, I thought it flowed well, but we kind of had a couple of quick hitters. The problem as it went on, as the game goes on, we just start doing things for the sake of doing things again. So the ball, like when you watch the NBA, Dave, you watch so much of it, the ball just heats up and flies around.
Yep.
With the you see with the Warriors, with the Celtics, we catch it, we run an action, the same guy stands here. A lot of times the guy dribbles backwards, which is the Rhodey special. Then he'll point somewhere, and then that didn't work, throw it over there. They try to run something, a pick or a pin down or a zoom or whatever, and the ball gets very stagnant. Watch for that. When we whip it around a little bit and you bring in Sharma, obviously good things happen.
Well, we're running, Dave, did you see, we were texting a little bit. We're running sides again.
Yeah, that was sides, and sides
that?
got so slow, so bogged down. All of a sudden, 8 seconds left on the shot clock again,
and the ball sticks. Sticks inside.
And you can't run sides if you're walking the ball up the court and your first pass in the front court is 19 seconds left on the shot clock. You don't have enough time to run it. If you're going to sprint it up and make 2 passes before 22 seconds left, then the defense has to work. But when they only have to defend 2 actions because the shot clock's running down, then we're going to have shots like the bailout from Rhodey in the corner with 1 second left. He made it, good shot. And then the IMAC, 30-footer that he made, 1 second left on the clock.
And Rhodey made that other one. That other one drifting left where he sort of.
Yeah, I will say that was a Ty Jerome special, that floater off the high backboard.
I love Dave's point in the pregame when I was listening in. He was talking about, I don't care if they miss or make, just get the ball up the court fast.
Yes.
Now, you know when you don't have to do that or when you can walk it up, it's when you have Ty Jerome, Malcolm Brogdon, maybe London Parentis, right? But when you have a team that's kind of all interchangeable and you don't have a that standout point guard who's gonna get shots at the end of the clock like a Ty did, Kyle did, DeAndre did, you gotta use your 5, right? You gotta use your 5, not your 1.
Yeah, speaking of Day, he's not in foul trouble. Someone asked the question, Jen asked the question. He's 0 fouls, 1 turnover, 7 minutes. So something happened. I saw him go down, but I didn't hear the announcer say anything about it either.
He was with the.
No.
He was with.
I think it's
texted.
speculation. I think it's speculation that he's hurt, but that's a spot that we can probably least afford. Well, we can't really have any injuries, but certainly point guard would be my least favorite option there. Dave, I know you're a big fan of Sharma. We saw him on that catch and shoot that looked like his high school highlights. Need to see more of that. Are we running anything for him, or was that just like screw it, I'm going to shoot it because we're short on the clock and I want to shoot one?
We had 4 of those. We made 3 of them that we
Yep.
had to shoot. There was probably 4 seconds left on the clock when they kicked it out. Saunders shot another like 17-footer with 1 on the clock. I mean, we're back to, sides and again, without pushing the ball at the floor, we're just not getting any good looks right away. But here's the thing. Sharma does not need space. He can rise up. He's a legit 6'5", 6'6". He has a high release and he's got hops. And so he doesn't need the space that these other guys do. So to me, I kind of like him running the point and letting Rhodey get off ball, especially if Day-Day's out.
Yeah,
At least Sharma's more athletic and doesn't have to hunch over, doesn't have to turn his back to the defense, bringing the ball up the court. I think and against who he's going to be guarded by, I think he'd be better running a ton of it because the only other option really is IMAC, and then you're taking him out of what he does best.
Well, I also think, one of the things, and I think Rhodey's played well this year. I was pretty critical of him last year. I think he's played well. One of the things I just really, his tendency and his instinct is, and we see him retreat dribble, but it's always to slow it down and calm down. And we talk about the pointing. That's not really, that makes the coaches like that because sometimes they need that. But we need to go sometimes. I mean, we're not crashing the boards. We're not getting second chance opportunities. We're always slowing it down. And I think with Sharma, he's new enough, he's young enough where his instinct is going to be, I'm going to attack, I'm going to distribute, not point, slow it down, guys. I'm going to back it up. Like, that's getting old to me, very quickly. And I know it is to you as well, Fresh.
Yeah, it's okay to slow it down every now and again on your own. But when you slow down a slowdown, it just comes to a screeching halt, right? It's a slowing down of a slowdown. Like, wait, guys, we went too slow. Let's back it out, start again. But you're right. I really love Rhodey being effective off the bench, and I think he's kind of playing more that way. And he's 1 of 3 positions. And when he's not pressured, he brings the ball up great, gets us going and all that stuff. And he's making shots this year, man. So I'm for him. I also loved, not to get off topic, what you guys said about Tane. I don't know if it's cuts from the corner that gets the credit, but just go reinvent yourself. Go reinvent.
We were agreeing with cuts.
Yeah.
Yes. Like you said, I think that's, borderline. I don't want to say it's genius, but that's pretty good. And what you see when he caught him the wing was open from 3, he went New Zealand on him. The stuff we saw him in high school, pump faked it and went right at bodies and finished strong and he finished it very confidently. So
speaking of strong, he had a turnover right off the bat, and I was like, oh, here we go. Form's going to be all over him. But then he had 4 rebounds, too, having to guard bigger guys. He had to guard Matt Cross a couple times, and he held his ground pretty well. The thing I'd like us to stop is stop the stinking high hedge again. Every time we're doing that, they're getting a switch, and we're not getting back on the big guy, and he's scoring. It's like big guy has 14, the rest of the team has 16. Why do we keep doing that?
To expound on that, I think, there's probably a lot of reasons why A-Rob is not seeing a lot of time. But the one that I bet coaches point to the most is the high hedge. Like, who really cares? Like, that guy's a big body. Put him on the Turkish guy. They can club each other with fungo bats down low. Like, let them just go off and play a little bit. Blake is, he's always a high effort guy. I like that about Blake. But that Turkish guy, he's killed people with guns before. He's not worried about Blake Buchanan, but maybe A-Rob can club him with his forearm a couple times, move him off the block, get a little physical with him.
I think he did in a couple minutes he got.
Is why A-Rob doesn't play, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
One of probably the worst hard hedger in the history of Virginia basketball is Jay Huff, and he's just on an NBA contract right now, right?
Yeah.
So as much as I love the way Akil Mitchell, and it opened my eyes to the pack line and stuff, and I love that. It's not for everybody. And you're right. The guy that's just got out of 3 different revolutions for the sake of being in a revolution is not worried about your hard hedge. And it's quite honestly archaic at this point, because you get the second pass off and somebody's wide open for a 3 from anywhere. And
weird how Huff goes to G League. They don't play high hedge. He plays rim protector like he's supposed to, and he's G League Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, right? It's like, why don't you take advantage of the strengths he has? 7'2", best shot blocker since Olden Polynese. You want him to high hedge, right?
I have a question for you, because you always harp on this. What was our very first possession that resulted in a dunk? It was a set play that went right at them to establish the inside to Blake Buchanan, and it was a dunk. Have we done that since? Have we done it since?
No. And, by the way, if you look at the Florida game, we ran a set for IMAC, which resulted in a 3. Like, we've run some sets for, like, the first play of the game, and then we're falling back into, it's not always blocker mover, but, man, there's just – I think it's really hard to do well in today's college basketball scene when your every instinct is to slow it down and not be aggressive. And we get aggressive the last 5 seconds of our possession, but we had a lot of talk, and I guess I'm especially frustrated by this because of all the preseason talk about the new offense, and there is nothing new. It's the same exact stuff. You might curl a different way and the angle might be different. It's still just slow it down basketball. And I worry about how that affects our one-loss record, but I worry more about how that affects our ability to recruit in today's day and age. That to me is a killer.
If you take each of our players and put them by themselves, right, and don't tell you what team they play on, some have attributes, some are impressive, some aren't, but nobody's like a crazy star. But the makings of this crew together as a team, if they're used kind of correctly, I still think they can be really good. And it's like these things. You know what I was going to play some point at times. You mix things up. Can you use Day on the wing? Can you do? I think as a group, this could turn into a very solid team. Individually, kind of a different story. Except for Kofi.
There's skill there. I was happy, and I know not everyone on LRA is – everybody kind of picks their favorites. I was really happy to see Power catch that ball, moving to his right, and nail the 3. That looked fluid and easy. And, if he can do that 3 or 4 times a game, like, let's do it. But that looked good. The other one I wanted to point out –
he had, too, that he missed was also looked good. So –
It did. Kofi had a really bad looking 3 that sort of hit the backboard at one point, and then the next possession he made one.
I like that. And I know the non-hesitancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not start the second half, by the way, guys. So he must be.
Is it on?
Yeah,
it's
just
on.
Start
up.
Yeah, we have a bunch of at the game.
Let's wrap it. We're going to the game. We'll see you guys back here post game. Go Hoos.
Go Hoos.